Hello everyone and welcome to Backend Simplified. In today's video we are going to talk about the new features that are going to be released in ES 2022. Our mission with this channel is to simplify the backend world for you. In this video we are going to dive into these specific features: the top level await, the regex match indices, the hasOwn, Error.cause, method, and new members of classes. So let's begin. Top level await. A few years ago, the syntax of promises entered to the JavaScript and changed the way we are handling asynchronous operations. All you needed to do is to use the word await before the promise you want to do and wrap all this inside an async function, like you can see here on line 2. From version ES 2022, you can use the word await anywhere you want. You don't need to declare any async function, and it will make your life much easier. Regex expression match indices. If we want to understand this feature, we need to give it a context. So here on the first line we define a new string, table, football. On the second line we define new regex. They are looking for foo with the G flag. And on the third line, we are going to match all of the regex expression that we just declared, and we are going to look for it inside the str. We expect to have two results. This is the first one inside football, and the second one inside football. Let's print it out. This is the old syntax, and here is the result. The first foo found on index 6, and the second foo found on index 16. Now let's say you want to know the range that the string was found at. I mean, like foo here on the first one is coming from 6 until index 9. This is the new feature. We just need to add the D flag. Let's save it and run it again. And now you can see the results. Under this foo you can see the range of indexes that it appeared on. Here is 6 to 9 and here is the 16 until 19. Object.hasOwn. When you create a new object in JavaScript, you inherit several methods by default. Here is the MDN website, and I want to see all the methods that are inherited. And here, after I scroll down, we get to the instance methods. Here we can see something called toString. toString is a method that returns a string representation of the object. But can we distinguish between the times the key was inherited and the times the key was declared on the object creation? Here we have an example for that. We created a new object called Object1 with key prop and value exists. We are going to use the new function called hasOwn that is associated to the object class. hasOwn function is going to return true if the key was declared when the object was created. Like this one, we created the key prop here on the Object1 declaration. And it will return false if the key was inherited. For example, here toString was inherited from the object class. We did not declare it here when we created our object. Let's run and see what we have. The first line prop returned true as we expected, and toString returned false because it was inherited by the object class. Error.cause. Sometimes you want to catch an error and rethrow it with more information or more descriptive title. The new field in the error class that is called cause, like you can see here, is going to help us to keep the original error for later investigation. This example was taken from a MDN, and here we are trying to connect to a database. And if it fails, we are going to throw a new descriptive error connecting to the database failed, and we'll keep the original error under the cause field. method at of indexable values. Here I have a list that contains 3 values a, b, and c. And we want to print the last value, the c letter. The first way to do it is to use console log my list, and we'll print it on the second index. But if you ever developed in other programming languages, you may remember that you can use negative indexes as well. Negative indexes are going from the end to the beginning. And in our example, c is going to be under -1. Here comes the new function at. Not flat, at. With at you can use negative indexes, and now we are going to print c in 2 ways. Here, as you can see. New members of classes. Here I have an example for a circle class that has a constructor that receives a radius and enter radius to this circle. We have 2 new fields in the classes. The first thing is to set static field. Let's say I want to set pi to be static 314. And now I can get the pi under these terms. Console log circle.pi, and it will be defined for anyone. Another new field is called private field. We will define private field with this sign. We'll say my private field and set it to a secret. This means that this field is going to be visible only to the functions inside this class, and you cannot expose it by default. That's it, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. If you find this video useful, please give us the thumbs up, and it will help us to grow our channel. See you in the next one.